Barry Conway. The Pearl River Boys cross country and track and field programs have a storied history and have produced a number of fantastic runners. Barry Conway ranks among the best. He was all-state in both cross country and track and field. He was a part of 2 school record-setting relays on the track, one of which is still the school record over 40 years later. Barry was the Rockland County individual cross-country champion as a senior, and his time at Bear Mountain is still among the 50 best all-time in Rockland County.
Barry, that was Doogie when you want to know who said that.
Co-contributor to the state championship cross-country team in 1980. Conway took those leadership skills with him to the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, where he competed in all 3 seasons of cross-country and track for 4 years. Perhaps Conway's greatest accomplishments were after his scholastic days, where he served his country as a combat lieutenant in the U.S. Army in the First Gulf War in the early 90s. And then he had a career in the U.S. Department of State. A Hall of Fame career, both in running and in service to his country. It is our privilege to introduce to you Pro River Hall of Famer, Barry Conway.
Don't be afraid of the paper. I'm a very short speaker. I want to start off by, thanking publicly the Hall of Fame Committee for voting me, and I really appreciate this honor. I also want to thank my former teammate and friend Kevin Mahoney for nominating me. Kevin's a great guy, and for him to nominate me means a lot to me. I'm really honored to be here tonight to share the spotlight with such great individual athletes, teams, coaches, and supporters of the PR athletic program. And I'm particularly humbled by the turnout of my family, my friends, classmates from both the men's and women's cross-country team in the late 70s and 80s and early 80s. It really means a lot to see all these faces here tonight. So thank you for coming. I want to recognize my son Kyle is here, and 2 of my brothers, Kevin and Brendan. One note of my brother Kevin, he kind of likes to tell tall tales, and he runs around telling people that he was the reason why I got into running. And it's not true, it's actually Tom Doherty, but I'll get to that. I'm very proud of my accomplishments at Pearl River High School and running 4 years Division I at Army. It's something I always wanted to do and test myself against the best. But I'm more proud of my accomplishments as a team. I never really thought about my individual accomplishments. Reflecting back on my running career, I would attribute my success to 3 main reasons. My family, my parents allowed me to run, gave me the opportunity to consider running track and cross country, my full-time job after school and during summer. So that is what I did, so I really appreciate that. And my family, when I first went up to West Point, I hated it, and I wanted to quit every week, but every time there was an opportunity for family and friends to come visit, my family would always come up there with a carload of food and just let me sleep on a blanket outside and catch up on sleep though. So I really appreciate my family supporting me all those years. And then my teammates from high school and college. But I think that the atmosphere and culture that we had in Kroger High School was very, very unique. The culture permeated from varsity, JV, freshman teams, and my teammates built the program that I came into. People like Conway, Jim Bondman, Hugh Brady, Rob McKinley, Casey Jurgel, Rich Walsh, Joe DeGanzi, Olay Frenjo, Ray Sussman, Mike Ward, Charlie Bohan. They all made it fun to come in and practice. We all remain friends today because of this atmosphere that was built. And when it was time when it was your turn to step up, when people graduated, you knew it was your time to step up and do what you needed to do. That's what I did. That's why I think I had a pretty good senior year, because I knew it was my responsibility to follow my teammates. And I also want to give special thanks to my one teammate, Andy Colburn, who was the state mile champion. I had the opportunity to train with him, and having a teammate who's better than you and who can push you to your limit and challenge you made it easier for me to achieve the successes that I did. It really pushed me, so thank you, Andy. Last but not least, my coaches. You know, I appreciate the coaching with Coach Wood my freshman year. Then he turned over the cross-country program to Coach Doherty after that. But also Rich Michalski, who was supposed to have been our coach, but for some administrative reason, did not in our junior and senior years for track. But he was my English teacher, and I went to some summer runs with him, and he was more of an advisor and helped teach me some nuances about training and racing that I used throughout my career. But last but not least is Coach Tom Doherty, who really is, when I call someone coach, it's the ultimate word of respect. And I didn't have all these great coaches in college and later, but of all the coaches that I've come across, Tom Doherty is the absolute best. He used to be a middle school gym teacher, and he would do the time trials for gym teacher. And as kids, you had to run a 12-minute run, and the kids that came in the top group, he pulled them aside and tell them, talk them into running, coming out for cross country, coming out for track. And I was being so tall, I wanted to play basketball, and he would have none of it. He just told me, basically told me I was suck at basketball. But he, like I said before, he created a culture. He was like a second father figure to many of us. And when I was in West Point, when I was deployed in Desert Storm, I would get letters from him checking in on me, my high school coach. So he kept contact with everyone. We were one of his boys. And it's, to this day, I consider him a significant part of my life. So. I do hope that my county championships and our team state championships in some way will pay back to you for all the sacrifices you made, you and your family coaching me and our team. So again, thanks to my family, my teammates, and coaches for the reason I'm up here tonight. So thank you.